There is no better sight than two arm wrestlers going deep inside with their wrists curled and locked in a perfect hook. A world-class hook is a technique mastered only by a few in the arm wrestling world. Here are top 10 of the very best hook pullers who are still in the game. Number 10. Khadzhimurat Zoloev. This giant killer from Russia possesses a hooking technique which involves lateral movement of moving sideways while maintaining forward motion. Khadzhimurat engages his bicep the moment he hears "ready go" with the flex of his steel wrist into a perfect cup that eats up any possible counter from his opponent to evade his pressure or engage their own. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, this hook technician has fought battles with giants double his size. Number 9. Evgeny Prudnik. Probably one of the most handsome hook pullers of all time, Evgeny Prudnik of Ukraine uses his hook to pull rather than drag his adversary's hand towards his chest. Using his bicep strength to the fullest, Prudnik has an otherworldly cupping ability that can turn strongest of the wrists to his advantage. He saps the surge in his hook while slowly moving backwards using his back and hips to pin his opponent and secure a hooking treat. Number 8. Daniel Procopciuc. Many of you would argue whether Daniel should be in this list or not. Believe it or not, pound for pound, Daniel Procopciuc is one of the best hook players in the game. With a relatively small frame and shorter lever, Daniel's hook is a mix of defensive top roll engaged with a dragging back pressure and triceps pull. Mix that with a surging side pressure and you get a Moldovan mayhem in making. Number 7. Krasimir Kostadinov. The sheer technicality and finesse of Krasimir's hook makes it the most potent weapon in the arsenal of this arm wrestling genius. The amazing use of pronator with bicep curl is the USP of Kostadinov's hook. His transition during a match from a defensive palm-up hooking grab on a bicep to a knuckle-up triceps-driven side pressure pin is infallibly effective. Watching Levan getting pinned in a hook is a rare sight, and this Bulgarian powerhouse has done that. Number 6. Levan Saginashvili. Kostadinov is probably the last man to have pinned Levan in a hook. After that pin, the Georgian Hulk has turned his wrist into an iron rod that is bent in the form of a world-class hook. Levan's hook gathers its power from center table domination. Being a top roller, Levan rarely uses this technique, but once he secures both center and victory, he displays his godly hook to please himself and his fans. There is not much technical aspect to Levan's hook, except raw and brute strength. Number 5. John Brzenk. The amount of precision John displays while controlling his opponent's hand in his low hand grip while slowly pulling their arms towards the pin pad makes him one of the most dangerous hook pullers of all time. The size of John's thumb helps him taking a firm grip over some of the biggest hands in the sport and allows his supination to come into play. His steel-like tendon and bone strength makes his hook almost untop-rollable. Number 4. Rustam Babayev. This is another arm wrestler with an untop-rollable hook. The compact frame and thick muscle structure give Rustam Babayev an edge over most of his contemporaries. He is just 5 feet 7 inches tall with short arms and even shorter levers. Instead of being a disadvantage, all of this turned out to be a blessing in disguise for this Ukrainian world champion. The dragging hook style of Rustam resembles the side pressure of Todd Hutchings with much more finesse and technicality. He is more of an outside hook puller than inside and tries to open his opponent's hand while giving up a little bit of his pronator every time as well. Number 3. Alizhan Muratov. Alizhan's hooking prowess shies just a notch away from the number 1 arm wrestler in this list. Undefeated with his left, Muratov is yet to face a guy who can match him inside the table in a deep hook. Alizhan gets inside pretty quickly to establish the hook position and conceals his grip grabbing very low on his opponent's thumb to generate maximum force. His strong wrist flexion curls his adversary's arms inward and with a smooth downward force pins them convincingly. Number 2. Devon Larratt. The leader of the Ottawa High Hooker Club, Devon is indeed among the very best to have done it ever. His height, his long levers, his huge hands, his flexible tendons and an overdeveloped pronation makes his hook extremely dangerous and effective. Over the period of time, Devon has become more of an open arm top roller come King's mover, but his dominance with his high hook technique secures his position at the number 2 spot. Before moving forward to reveal the numero uno of this list, here are some honorable mentions. Frode Hogland, Todd Hutchings, Corey West, Gennady Kwikvinia, Artem Morozov, Number 1. Ivan Matyushenko. When it comes to execute a 100% pure and technically efficient hook with zero possibility of any flaw or any gap, Ivan Matyushenko is one to look for. Being called the Hook Emperor in the Arm Wrestling Elite Club, Ivan has developed the most perfect hook over the period of more than 15 years. He can quickly and effectively curl his opponent's arm inwards by using a strong wrist flexion and proper hand positioning while keeping his elbow close to his body and leveraging his shoulder to pull them, essentially trapping them in an inside position with minimal leverage for them to resist. Leaning in with his shoulder over his arm to maximize pulling power, watching Ivan Matyushenko at work is purest of the hooking experiences an arm wrestling fan can get. If you like my content and love arm wrestling, then like, share and subscribe. Keep healthy, keep hustling. This is Nitin Vats signing off.